Hiya. So it's me again, and today we are back with another episode of the Champion Legion progression. Today marks episode 30, and today also marks the first episode in which the system is actually released. Now, with the release of the system, I kind of want to try cutting down my videos in terms of length and redundancy so that I can make more space to actually progress again. And I've noticed that throughout the past couple weeks worth of videos, a lot of my recaps have been covering characters even though nothing has really changed with them. So it's more of just, hey, get on this character, nothing's changed, go on to the next. So I'm going to try shaving that down and focus on two characters at a time. Now, the two characters in question will be A, always the Khali, because I want to continue focusing on the Khali, and B, it'll be another character alongside the Khali that I want to get to 275, or that I want to work on to get to a certain checkpoint, or, push up their damage a certain amount. So as for right now, it's going to be the Adele, because I want to get the Adele to 275, especially now with Night Troop. I want to try getting at least a 30-minute farming session a day so that I can get through all of the daily procs and get the huge XP buffs when farming. So we're going to try doing that. But it's not to say that I'm not playing on the other characters or I'm forgetting them. It's just I want to cover the really important things that are changing, or important things or milestones that actually happen on those characters. So, like for example, if I get a certain drop, like a pitched item, or if I improve a ring, or kill a certain boss for the first time. Those are the types of things that I will be covering. Also, like the gains that I make if I do star on that character for an event. Those are the types of things that I will be covering on the character, but if nothing is changing, generally speaking, I probably won't show anything about that character. So for now, it'll just be the Khali and the Adele, at least for now. Eventually, it'll probably be the Khali and the Bowmaster, because I also need to get the Bowmaster to 275. And then from that point in time, it's a big question mark. Just depends on what character I feel like playing alongside the Khali. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and sub, or I will literally eat your mesos faster than Starforcing does. So before I get started on the Adele, I kind of want to quickly cover my Champion Legion thus far. It was actually very funny when I first started the system and I finished my first quest. I actually didn't even know how to rank up my characters. So for anybody who's curious, once you finish a quest, you can right click and press the level up a rank. And then once you do that, the next quest will appear, so on and so forth. So for right now, all of my characters are, well, the characters that I can fit in are at the A rank. As I said before, the first three characters going into the system will be my Dual Blade, my Khali, and my Cannoneer, as they have the most potential to clear the most amount of bosses, so that they can kind of help each other get to that point in time where they can kill Hard Saren in 20 minutes. Now, I have not done my Champion Raid yet, which I should do because the Champion Raid is actually very useful for when you do want to push the missions, as they do add extra buffs on top of everything that you have. Now, it's not something that you can necessarily spam, but it is something that you want to keep on hand when you're doing the important runs. Now, you'll notice that my characters aren't S, and that's kind of because I'm waiting until reset today to do my Black Mage. So instead of having to run Black Mage twice, I'm just going to do it all in one go. And then for the Dual Blade, we're going to try doing Saren as well in one go, so through a real run, before shifting on to the Khali and the Cannoneer. I'm probably going to do the Khali after the Dual Blade, and then the Cannoneer, because the Cannoneer's damage potential is, even considering his gear, kind of shaky, but yeah. That's where we stand in terms of the Champion Legion as of right now. Not all of my characters are in the right preset, so my champion power sits at 450. It usually goes to 600 and beyond when I do put everybody in the right preset, but I digress. Let's get started with the Adele. The Adele is slowly trudging its way to 263. And the Adele gear-wise has stayed the same. But what I want to do is now I'm actually trading with the Adele once again. I'm getting it through all of C10E. So I'm hoping that by next week I get at least one drop. Because I want to be able to buy the 5 set for the Adele. The big issue here being that I can't buy a shoulder and a weapon for the Adele, so... Or, you know, hopefully I just get a weapon so that I can just buy the 2 pieces and not have to worry about it. Because a weapon would save me 24 droplets and a fuck ton of money. But, yeah. Right now we stand at 72 bill. And the big thing in our sights as of right now is 100% the Shining coming up next week. The Shining money is pretty much going to go all towards the Adele in terms of what I can do. If I can't do anything on the Adele, then we're going to put the money towards tapping on the Khali's pitched. And if even after all of that, I am still short on, you know, and I still haven't used up all my money, then we're probably going to either A, tap the Khali's Arcanes, or B, tap the other characters pitched, depending on how I'm feeling about it. But for now, we do have 22 earrings on this character. I would love to see a 22 belt or even a 22 ring or pendant, because we actually can put something like that into our sights because we have 800 Gollix coins. I actually have managed to get 2 Dominator pendants on the Adele again, so we can actually use that to get a 20 plus star pendant, assuming that it doesn't go horribly wrong again. But yeah, definitely pendant in our sights. If we can get a slime ring, we can also try that to 21. We also have a KT, so we can try that too, but a lot of what I'm going to be tapping on the Adele is just going to be attempting things. Because a lot of the pieces on the Adele are already at a very solid spot. And improving past this point, considering my amount of spares, because I don't have a crazy amount of drop rate, is going to be, you know, up for grabs. It's not going to be certain. So that's what the Adele is looking like in terms of gear. In terms of Sacred, we are almost... No, I am at level 6 Cernium. I'm probably going to level it up once I farm all of the money again. I don't want to pull out from my bank. I don't know. It's just one of those things that I don't want to do. In terms of getting the money, though, or to farm it so that I can level up my symbol, I need to do Ursus again, because I'm actually starting to run out of Ursus buffs. And it's really annoying. I don't want to have to be thinking about Ursus buffs. I need to put that into my thought process again and what I do on a daily basis, because Ursus buffs are going to be very important, especially if I'm going to be pushing for you know, champion Legion runs. Now granted, of course, for Saren I'm going to do it in practice mode, so maybe it's not that big of a deal, but if I can make, you know, Ursus buffs more accessible to make my runs faster, that'll be nice. In terms of Night Troop, for right now, my buff is sitting at 50 boss, 50 ID, and 20 attack, because I want to do the Champion Legion runs first before swapping to XP. I do want to swap to XP because, of course, XP is very important, especially during this event. I'm pretty sure you can get the XP to go all the way to 100%, so pretty much a permanent 2x, which is insanely overpowered. But yeah. In terms of 6-job progression, we've actually unlocked everything on the Adele, and we're kind of just hoarding Solarda for now. I'm probably just going to level up Hunting Decree. Realistically, I shouldn't even be holding on to these, because Hunting Decree is just the best thing to level by far, because it gives you duration on Hunting Decree, and it gives you damage on Hunting Decree, so just doubling up, if you will. Plummet is kind of useless. not entirely useless, but in comparison to Hunting Decree, this is like single-handedly Adele's most important ability. So if we level this, it's going to be friggin' huge. So, yeah. Besides that, that's pretty much everything there is for the Adele. It got no drops this week, even though I did the entirety of C10E. We still obviously appreciate the droplets and, you know, the traces, the black mage traces that I get from it too, because that's another important thing when you trade, is you're actually getting half the traces of C10E every single week. So we're actually making our way to the Lotus mission on this character, and the Bowmaster is also making its way to Liberation as well. I'm pretty sure the Bowmaster just finished the Damien quest, and it's on to the Will quest. So Bowmaster is probably going to be liberating in like a month or a month and a half. I wish I could get a Black Mage solo on the Bowmaster, but it's just not strong enough for now. So we're going to see what happens for the Bowmaster. But yeah, enough about the Bowmaster. That's pretty much going to be it for the Adele. One last thing before I actually do swap to the Khali. This is still a pain in my heart, pun intended, because I do want a Fairy Heart. This is just so much free stat that I'm missing. It's such an eyesore to look at. So hopefully the next event will give us a Fairy Heart, and I don't have to worry about getting Fairy Hearts anymore. Alrighty, and now we're on to the Khali. Now, I'm gonna be honest, my Khali just, by existing, is slowly making its way to 280. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't even been doing Monster Park. If I've been doing it, my XP would be continuing much faster. I'd probably be 278 or even 279 by now. But I'm not gonna lie, like, finding parties for Monster Park is getting very hard, considering that it's a weekly now. So I kind of just have to like find people who are down every single week to do it at a specific time, if anything. Which is kind of annoying, I'm gonna be honest. I actually liked it as a daily, but it does take more time as a daily, so, you know, the good comes with the bad. But if anything, my main focus for the Khali is gonna be gear. We're gonna be giving Khali the main treatment, if you will. So we're gonna be trying to aim to get to the rest to 22. So, you know, like the arcanes. Once again, like, depending how I'm feeling during the event, and depending on what it looks like for my Adele during the event, a lot of the money will probably come here. And I think I'm just gonna try singling out pieces and going 22 or bust, and hopefully they hit, so that any sort of arcanes that I get, I can focus on a specific piece, because like, clearly only having 9 pieces over the course of like several months is not gonna cut it if I do want to go for 22s, especially if I'm, you know, cutting my resources dry across 4 pieces. It's gonna be very hard to push something to 22, so we're gonna have to take risks. That is for sure. Everything else, I'm pretty sure in this character's inventory is 22, besides the CRAs, because I don't want to touch the CRAs. Yeah, so definitely if I can push for that, and then like maybe if I can, you know, maybe hop into like a normal, or even, no, I think Sea Kalos is still a little too far out of reach, but for sure if I could get into normal Kalos, so that I can continue getting the big pieces. Because I'm definitely more than strong enough for End Kalos. I could probably even do it in like a trio, if anything. But yeah, I do also still have these 2 sitting around, so maybe we can give these guys a shot and see what happens, but I don't know, it's a little ambitious. I'm not gonna lie, the impromptu Shining Star Force is making this very difficult, because I want a cube more than I want a star, but the value of Star Forcing during Shining is just too good that you really can't say no to it. So yeah, because a lot of my items, not only on this character but on other characters, a lot of my items are just not good potential wise for damage, and That's honestly where I'm lacking a lot of damage, for these characters. So if I could, min-max that, and that would really get me over at least that Saren threshold, which is a lot of damage, at least for the characters that are in the Champion Legion right now. So yeah, I don't know. In terms of Hexa, kind of standard stuff if you ask me. We're still slowly trying to push Janus. We're almost at level 6. I do want to get level 10. I really do, but like that's eventually after we get everybody to 275. That's when I can start thinking about how I'm going to push going forward. Because I'll probably start with the Khali, getting it to 280 before I get other characters to 280, because I definitely think I am gonna have to go for 280. I don't know. We'll wait and see. And once again, it's still thinking very far out. Maybe all the power creep will make it so that you can kill Enkalos without 280 in 20 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be it for the Khali though. And besides that, drop-wise, we haven't really gotten any drops on any of our characters this week. Besides the Bowmaster and the Adele, funnily enough, considering that they have the least drop rate of all my characters. The Bowmaster is up a source, which is kind of funny, considering that just a week or two ago I blew up 6 Dominators and I couldn't even get a single one to 20 plus, which is really awesome. And the Adele is up a Blackheart, so we are over 10 Blackhearts right now. And if I wanted to, I could probably pop Blackhearts to really force the Saren clears. Because if I do that, of course, like, you only need the clear once. And once I do that, then it's going to get easier from there. And I don't really even need to worry about it from that point on. Because once I do finish the champion mission, we're just done, right? So that's probably where the Blackhearts are actually going to go, if anything. Because, I mean, the Bowmaster has 2, the Adele has 1. I'm pretty sure the Marksman and the Khali have 1 in their inventory, and then I have like 8 in my storage. So we've got quite a lot. But same thing for the Bowmaster. I might try to do something on the Bowmaster. Maybe try like a ring to 20 stars, but once again, it's more of like, oh, we'll see how the event turns out before I actually do that. Alright, and that's going to be it for this week. So expect the Lotus and Vihila clears to come out sometime during this week. Once again, I am going to bunch them all together because of how short they are. I will also do the recordings for the Black Mage runs, and I will post those. Those are going to be separate, as the Black Mage runs are going to be a lot longer. I'm going to try to stagnate them and give some space between them so that it doesn't feel like everything's just coming out at once. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, and sub, or I will literally eat your mesos faster than leveling symbols does. I'm going. Peace out, and much love.